What's going on, y'all? This is your boy LA Styles, aka the LA Styles, also known as L Anderson. You can call me LA for short. All right, those are my actual initials. I am not from LA. It's just the initials, okay, of my name. Right? So we back in the stew. It's been a long time, I know, it's like 5 months or so since season one. Right, so this will be the beginning of season 2, episode 1. We just gonna go life after adjustments a little bit. That title might change. I just see a lot of people on the USPS communities. Shout out to USPS communities um on the Facebook. All right, for those of you who are carriers or whatever the case is, if you're in the post office, there is a lot of communities you can join to get help, to get assistance, whatever the case is. Right? If you feel like you can't get those assistance or that same level of help or whatever knowledge that you need in your station or district. There's a lot of communities, USPS communities on Facebook and on Reddit. Excuse me. You can also join the Postal Blue um, podcast on X, right? Formerly known as Twitter, right? And we will be posting these on YouTube. Um, Everything will be down below, hopefully. If I remember, I am rusty at this. It's been almost a half a year. Sorry for the delay, but it's been a lot of stuff going on between work and real life. So I've been MIA, the group been MIA, but I'm about to get on my regular schedule programming on Sundays and releasing on Mondays, or I might do it on Saturdays, depending on what time I get off, so I can have my Sundays completely free. Otherwise, it's almost like I work every single day of the week, right? And that's a no-no. You get overwhelmed, right? So this might get in. I might record these Fridays, Saturdays, at the latest Sunday, but Monday will always be the release day, so you guys can have something to listen to while you out there on the heaviest day getting it done. Okay. If you don't know, again, I am your boy LA. I am the co-founder of Postal Blue, aka the Postal Blue Podcast, also under the Amazing Studios brand. Shout out the Amazing Studios, right? This is the podcast, man. Right? Just a little bit catch up. My station, I am a carrier, USPS mail carrier, right, in Milwaukee, Wisconsin. Right? Um, my station got walked in September, September of 25. Okay, September 25. Um, we kind of found out what it was going to be towards the end of 25. And they didn't actually cut the routes to either January or February, right? I want to say it was January that it ended up taking place officially, but I could be mistaken. Could have been February. Anywho, they walked us like a month later, which ended up being, let's say, either February or March, right? Again, February, because if they walked us in January, then a month later would have been February, or if they rewalked us in or changed over in February, then they would have rewalked us. Should be 30 days from the initial adjustment. Should be 30 days from what I was told is 30 days, 60 days, and maybe 90 days as well. But 30 days and 60 days, they should be rewalking you guys after they cut your routes. Um, so yeah, mail on the floor, man. Listen, get right to it. Mail on the floor. I got this yellowish tint going on. I'm not sure why. If I cut my light off or one of my lights off, it might go away. Hold on, let's see. Whatever. I'll get the settings, everything right. It's computer updating, everything updating, things change, whatever the case is. So I'm about to go through my settings. I just turned it on because I felt the mood to do it. And I'm like, if I don't do it, I'm gonna keep on procrastinating and getting back in. So you know how it is. So I had to come back. It's pouring raining out of nowhere for whatever reason. I remind you. I didn't want to say this once I first started, but I overlooked it. It's pouring raining for whatever reason right now. Right after it was just super hot all day. My old lady talking about she had a bucket that she used for her gardening. It might blow down the street. It's red. It's in the yard. It was on the porch. It's in the yard right now, or what at the time. I don't hear none of this. I hear, "Come here, come here, come here. It's going down the street. Get it before it's going down the street." I throw my stuff. I run outside. Oh, I run upstairs to the door. I'm like, what's going on? What's going on down the street? My bucket. Look out the front door. It's an orange bucket on the grass, still on our property, on the grass. The wind blew it off the porch. It's gonna blow my bucket down the street. I'm like, it's a bucket, man. You see this? And I'm like, when did this? It's pouring, fast rain, almost like to the side. I'm closer to downtown, so I'm like, it's a bucket. You know what I'm saying? It goes. I paid $5. I'm like, it's $5. It's a bucket, man. I might get blown down the street if I go out there. Anywho, I'm trying to look out the door like, dude, this don't look safe. I ain't going. She behind me talking about some 5, 4. I'm like, what are you doing? Pushes me out the door. Right? It's wet. I don't got a grip. I go down the stairs. Whatever. I'm already out here now. It's super wet. I'm outside. I'm in the yard. Then it get worse as soon as I touch down. I go get the bucket. Oh, she on the phone with her friend. Oh, girl, I almost lost my bucket. Like we almost lost a kid or something. I almost lost my bucket. I think I paid $1 something for the bucket, like $1. Now at this point, I done took off my shoes on the entryway, not carpet, but the rug, almost like a welcome mat, but it's way bigger than a welcome mat because we got a big hallway as soon as you enter the front door. So it's a big, almost like an oversized welcome mat right there, whatever the case is. I take my shoes off on that because they wet. And I'm going through the kitchen now. I hear her say on the phone, "Oh, I got the bucket. Linda had to go get the bucket. I think it cost me like $1 or something." I stopped. $1 or something. I look back at her. She looking up at me. Girl, listen, women. That's for another show, man. That's for a different podcast, man. Y'all stay tuned, man. Y'all make sure to subscribe Amazing Studios on YouTube, man, where all our podcasts lies. All of our podcasts is on Amazing Studios YouTube channel. Amazing Studios. Shout out Amazing Studios. We also got a video game in the making behind the scenes that we will be streaming the making of. It's an open world sandbox video game, and we will be live streaming the making of different parts of that video game leading up until release. Starting, I don't know when I'm starting streaming that yet, but that'll probably be on Rumble. But subscribe to Amazing Studios on YouTube. Right? So make sure you like Postal Blue. Everything Postal Blue. Okay? Everything is Postal Blue. My favorite color, or one of my favorite. Well, actually, my favorite color is blue though. But yeah. So they rewalk them. My route was changed. Right? I'll give you an example of my route. Right? Just to hear things out for those of you everywhere around the nation. Right? My route already took me 8 hours. Right? To do. That's without certifieds. Now my route is certified heavy majority of the time. All right, I can get anywhere from 10 to 30 plus certifieds, maybe every other day. I have like a lower income area part on my route. Was really the apartments, right? But you can get 1 to 3 certifieds per apartment because they owned by the same people, right? So, which is a property management company. So they send out the certifieds. So without the certifieds, I'm typically around 8 hours already. With the certifieds, I'm over 8, no matter what. I'm over 8 because I never get 1 or 2 or 3 certifieds for the most part. Anytime I get certifieds, it's minimum 5, which right now is 3 minutes per certified, so that would be 15 minutes. So even if I was 5 minutes under that day, now I'm over 10, right? And all my certifieds have to get delivered, or they snowball, right? Given the fact that I just told you how many I can get, it's gonna snowball. Outside of my apartment area, The other part of my route is a lot of homeowners. So they're at work at the same time that I'm at work. Typically, if I get there early enough, I can catch a lot of them. Get my certifieds off, they sign for them, cool. Then I go and buy my business. I'm trying to get my certifieds out. They want their certifieds. Again, homeowners, they're getting things from the IRS. They have in-home businesses, so they're getting things as registered agents for their business and things like that. So my certifieds have to go. Right, so I'm over 8, or on 8 average without certifieds. What they do to my route, right? Route 67. They take 3 businesses off my route. Now, my route, as far as what you would imagine a business would look like, right? I had 3 of those businesses. Now, I do got in-home businesses, and I got group homes that don't look like businesses, of course. But I did have AT&T, which is look like a business. I had a beauty supply store, and I had a daycare, all right next to each other. So in reality, I was only given like 5, maybe 10 minutes at the most, but really 5 minutes around to do those businesses, right? AT&T mailbox was outside. The other 2 businesses right next door to each other. You go in, front door, go in, right at the counter at the beauty supply, going by my business. They took off the 3 businesses that I only ever really got like 5 minutes, right, to do. And I say that because those 3 businesses was in my first hour of mail, right? This is pre-adjustment. It was already in my first hour of mail. Also in my first hour of mail is a 50 unit, right? 50 unit apartment building. Then I had 1, 2, then 2 more blocks on that particular street, right? And then I had a deadhead across from the apartment building. And then I have to drive my vehicle up, and then I had another block off another street, right? So that's essentially 3 blocks, right? Just count the walking. That's essentially, let's say, just 3 blocks. Then I have a 50 unit apartment building, right? And then I had those 3 businesses. That was in my first hour of mail before the adjustment. So I'm not giving no real time for those businesses. You know what I'm saying? Like that didn't help me, you taking that off, but you took it off. Whatever. They took off the 3 businesses and then gave me, it's all they took off. It's the only thing they took off my route was 3 businesses. Then gave me 8 blocks from another route. Hold on. 778, 79, 8, 81, 82. Correct. Then gave me eight splits from the next closest route to me. Then said I'm at 8 hours. How am I at 8 hours? If I was just at 8 hours, you took off 5 minutes and gave me an hour 45. Now, what they gave me is an hour 45. I used to do that route as overtime continuously, right? So I know how long the route is. I done did 4 hours on the front end, 4 hours on the back end, 2 hours all the way through. I done did that route back and forth before my guy came and got the route, right? That's route 2. His last 2 hours is what they gave me minus 1 split, right? Minus 1 split. So on his paper, it says that that's an hour and 45. If I was at 8 and you took off 5 minutes and then you gave me an hour and 45, how's that still 8? I don't know what math that they're doing, but I'm not stupid. I'm not stupid and I'm not going. You hear me? You hear me? So I already knew what time it was because can't nobody play those type of games with me. I know the system, right? On or off the desk, I know the system. Okay, cool. They do a call. I don't know if that was November, maybe October, November. They did a, just going off what happened with my station. Now, from what I heard, my station fell through some loopholes on some things that wasn't done right in the first place. Right? That they were supposed to come back and do something else that they never did. That they were supposed to ask us how the travel should be, that didn't happen, and something else that didn't happen. So the next time we hear from them is months later. on the computer screen. They didn't come back to the station. I was told that they was gonna come back to the station. They didn't do that. They had a video call on the computer, and every route took turns. Well, for like 2 or 3 days, because everybody went there on one day, of course. For like 2 or 3 days, they took turns going back there, talk to those people. Oh, side note. So I say that they about to rain because look at my glasses, right? I was like, man, I'm not gonna do all this. So I got water spots on my glasses right now from the water just drying up, and then my shirt is wet. And I got a stain from picking up the dirty bucket or whatever the case is. Oh, right here. Whatever. So you can't see, but it's wet. Um, so if you rewind this and see the video when it first start, it might you might see the wet spots on the shirt. I'm wet. So anywho, pause if necessary. So when I go back there, I give them my name, give them my route. They ask me how's this going, whatever the case is. The route hasn't changed over, right? So we still doing the routes the way it is. They say, hey Leonard, it looks like you was under like 30 minutes. I said, no, this is it. It looks like you was under about 30 minutes. Does that sound correct? I said, no, that don't sound correct to me. They said, no, you don't think so? I said, I'm pretty sure not, because when I was walked there, I didn't even get back to the station before 8 hours. That's with no stationary time. And I took my break at the end of the route. I took my 10-minute break at the end of the route. Took my first 10-minute break in the station. So if I have no stationary time, no downtime, we walking the whole time, and I'm getting back at just after 8 hours and 10 minutes, how am I under 30 minutes? Right? So they say some gibberish that quote unquote I'm not understanding. Not understanding, because really you just making up whatever you want to make up. So they said so they had gave us a printout of the papers on what they was adding, right? And then when you went over there to talk to them, you had to take the paper over there. So I knew what they was adding. He asked me if I had any questions. I said yes. I said, okay, going with what you say I might be under, or it looks like I'm under 30 minutes. Okay. What you're adding is an hour and 45. How does that fit in to the 30 minutes? They had no proper answer. Right. So they said if I had any concerns, whatever the case, this, that, and the other. I said, no, I don't really got no concerns, because I do 8 hours and I'm gone. Right. I got 6 hours of walking for y'all, as I got paperwork. And you know what I'm saying? I said, oh, well, if the route might seem too much, didn't say too long. If it seems too much for you, you can bid for another route. I said, why would I do that? That's what I'm saying. It's two ladies, right? Only one I'm talking. I'm not sure what the other lady was. I don't know neither one of these two people titles. I don't know if they supervisors, managers. I don't know if they like supervisor manager from another station. I don't know if they part of HQ. I don't know who these ladies is. So I'm like, why would I do that? They said, oh, well, if the route too much, I said, listen, I have 2 hours, I have 6 hours of walking for no matter what route I go to. So why would I go to a different route that I don't know when I could just stay on the route that I know? And then in this almost 2 hours that you add, I would just bring that back every day. And guess what I did once the routes changed in January or February? Let's just say January. In January, I bring it back every day, me personally, the correct way, right? 3996. The manager was denying it. Now, mind you, when it first got changed, I walked the route the way it is, and they messed up my travel, the entire travel. I had like an extra 45 minutes to an hour of walking without mail, right? So when they rearrange the routes, they most likely will, unless they do that thing where they come and talk to you guys, which they didn't do to us, they will mess up the travel, right? And my route went from, I think, almost 30 splits, almost 30 blocks to almost 40 blocks, right? So if I was at 30, I'm at 38 now, right? Something like that. So almost 40 blocks, right? Um, and they had me doing 9 splits. They broke my route up into a split that doesn't have a number at the beginning, right? But it's like 4 different blocks, just one side of 4 different blocks, and then I have to walk back to my vehicle 4 blocks away, walking past houses that I have no mail for, but I'm pretty sure I have mail for. But in this bundle, I have no mail for, right? In this split, for whatever reason, right? So I call that split 0. And then the numbered splits was 9. 9 splits for 40 blocks, almost 40 blocks, right? Cool, not cool. I can give you an example of one of my splits for 2 blocks is a deadhead, but it's not a deadhead because in the split before that, you do the opposite side of that street. Don't make sense. In another split, I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 different blocks, 5 blocks in one split. That split 0, 1, 2. That split 3. Split 3, I have 5 blocks. Split 5, I have almost 7 blocks. I'm just short of 7 blocks in split 7. Then I can have another split with 1 split in it, or a half of a block in it, somehow, some way. Total, I have 9 splits for almost 40 blocks, right? Mind you, part of one of the splits, so split, not 0, split 1 is a lot of the apartments with the certifieds. They have me do a busy street, go into group homes, then turn and do like 12 apartments, then do half of one of the blocks that connect to those apartments in one split. That's split 0. You know how much mail or certifieds and packages I have for that? A busy street, 2 blocks of a busy street, 3 group homes, then 12 apartments, then part of a side street in one split. And I'm supposed to carry all the mail, packages, or papers to that? That don't even make sense. Starting the next split, I have another 18 apartments or something like that, mixed with 6, 7 duplexes on one block. Then the next block is more duplexes with another 4 of those apartments. And those apartments is more certifieds, more packages and papers. You can't carry that in one split. I'm telling you, on my route. That's why they was never in the same split. My apartments are always their own splits. It don't even make sense because you can't carry it with another one. You can say whatever you want to say about the mail volume, whatever. It don't make sense, and it ain't gonna make sense. And the only person gonna be upset about it is you, as in management, right? So I used to do a 3996. So my first 3 days trying it, I'm like, yeah, this ain't working. I waited 3 days. I tried it for 3 days. This is not working, right? I go to my acting manager. Start doing 3996. Yeah, this ain't working. I'm doing this excess walking, right? I said, check my breadcrumbs. You'll see me walking back and forth down streets probably 2 times on certain streets because I don't have mail for the other side, and then I have to come back later in another split and do that side of the street and then walk back again to get to my vehicle because I don't have mail to bring me back because I did the other side in a whole nother split. I got excess walking, right? And then again, I was already at 8. So then you added the 145, and then I got another 45 minutes to an hour of excess walking. All right. So I'm doing 3996s. My 3996 is getting denied. Right? Mind you, we back into certified territory, right? My certifieds coming in. One day, I think it was like the second day I started doing 3996, the second or the third. I still got my copies of all this. I do. So now I done started rearranging my mail. Say, hey, I'm gonna have to rearrange my mail in the morning. Shouldn't take me too long, but that's better than me doing the excess walking on the street, right? Because that's a time waste of practice. This right here is a time waste of practice, right? So I'm gonna have to rearrange this, which only might take me 10, 15 minutes versus the 45 to an hour of the excess walking, right? I'm not typed to one bundle. So I just need to go into my DPS and take out certain parts of splits to put it back where it makes sense, right? For not even the whole route. I just do it for like 3 or 4 of my main streets with a mail, you know what I'm saying? That when you do a busy street, you shouldn't go back to that busy street, especially if you're doing that busy street in the morning. I keep coming back to a street that I should be done with that morning, right? So it don't make sense. So I have to rearrange that, right? Um, let's use the camera. It's attached to the monitor, right? So I'm giving the $39.96. I'm not even requesting the extra time for the walking stuff. I'm weeding that out majority of the time. So I'm only asking for the 145 it takes to do the new part that they added, plus whatever I got in certifies. That's still being denied and saying on the paper, dang, I wish I had the paper. I wish I had the paper. I'm gonna bring y'all papers. I'm gonna bring y'all papers. See, cause me, this is why I'm dangerous. I ain't got nothing to hide, right? I ain't got nothing to hide. I can show you what they doing, and I don't mind telling you what they doing. If they got a problem with it, stop doing what you're doing, right? Stop doing what you're doing. if you got a problem with anything that you're doing, stop doing what you're doing. Otherwise, stand on whatever it is that you're doing. But anywho, sign 3996s. Deny time. How you deny the time? I'm walking. I'm not on any stationary reports. I'm not on any leaving the zone reports. None of that. Right? Excess breaks. None of that. So if you've been watching my breadcrumbs and on the reports, you see that it's taking me that time that I'm asking for. Or you could give it up, right? Get to somebody else. Right? One day I asked for the hour 45 for the route. And this particular day I had 18 certifieds. So I asked for the 54 minutes because 18 times 3 is 54 minutes. So I asked for the 54 minutes as well with the 145. It says denied, right? Disapproved. Something and maintain an 8-hour day. How do you do that? So I'm bringing back mail, right? Cool, say less. Now, my personal restriction is I can walk for 6 hours. If I feel up to it, right? Depending on how my knee feels, I can do more. But I can't be instructed, nor can I be forced to violate my restriction. But if I feel up to it, I can let you know and I can do more if need be. So I said, cool. Not gonna play that game, right? I was feeling up to it the first couple days or whatever case. I do it. Cool. Say less. Right? Bringing that back. I'm doing the mail. I'm bringing that back. Now it's like an issue sending messages through the scanner. Guess what I'm finna do from now on? I'm not rearranging no mail. Right? I'm carrying as is. So now I'm bringing back the 145 that you added to the route, and I'm bringing back almost another hour for the excess walking because I don't have to rechange the mail or reorganize the mail in the station. Now I'm just carrying it as is on the street, how it goes. So now the route is like almost 11 hours to get done. So yeah, I'm bringing 3 back consistently. Paper day, I'm bringing like 4. I remember I went out on paper day and I tried to rearrange the papers in the office to make sense. She said, no, cool. They do it on the street. Cool. So now I got stationary time. I got stationary time like crazy because I got to get through the papers. The papers at the time didn't even match the travel of the route. The papers was still going with the old route. And I got to rearrange the papers on the street to pick out certain streets to even put a split together. Okay. So every block I get to, what splits it is? Okay, cool. Now let me go through the papers and I send a message through the scanner. About to have stationary time as I have to go through the papers to match the splits that I have. I'm sitting there going through papers and I'm doing that every time I get to a split. Every time. That way, if ever something comes up and we have to go into the office, then you got stationary time. I have stationary time. Yeah, you got multiple instances stationary time. What day was that? Tell me a day. Let's just get this for example. Tell me a day. I don't remember. What's my What's my messages that day? Did I send messages that day? Because most likely, I'm pretty sure I sent messages that day. So I need somebody to pull the messages so we can see, what the messages say. Because I'm keeping track on what's going on, right? That's why I'm sending messages. That's why it's important to send messages. That's why it's important to send messages for anything that's going on the street that might slow you down or interfere in the mail delivery process, right? Couldn't mess with me. Now I'm waiting to get pulled into the office. I'm waiting because my back is covered on it. If you only knew, I was waiting because I had harassment charges waiting on this individual. Waiting. Grievances don't do nothing that they supposed to do. That's my personal opinion. It's my personal opinion in the post office. The mismanaging is ridiculous. And when they talk about wasting money, when they talk about privatizing, when they talk about moving us because it's too, what they don't talk about is the mismanaging that causes a lot of this extra money being spent in the post office. Mind you, anytime, well, not anytime, but majority, it seems like, of the things that management tends to violate in the contract typically or usually, not all the time, but usually come with monetary values attached because they normally violate the same things, right? And those grievances have to be paid out. And when management try not to pay it, then you get non-compliances. And then the value of the grievance starts to go up for bigger payouts and bigger payouts and bigger payouts. And you snowball this. And now you can have a district that owes a couple $1 million in grievances after a couple years, and they try not to pay for it. Right? We know why. Right? I done said it before. Depending on your district management team, if they shady or not. Trying to get bonuses and things of that nature. So not paying grievances looks good. I ain't gonna say looks good. Not paying grievances or holding off paying grievances, right? The grievances looks like or seems to be coming out of the station's budget where the violation took place, right? And if your station is under their budget, then they can get a bonus or management can get a bonus. So if your district is in this budget, then management all can get bonuses, right? Now, if they violating heavy and then they not paying the grievances, it's because they know if they pay the grievances, they're going to be over and they're not going to get a bonus. So they tucking the grievances to the side so they don't have to pay them because they're trying to get bonuses. And then they double back after they get the bonuses and start trying to babysit, like pay slowly, the grievances. Or what they're going to do is because it's so high, they're going to then try to come to your union and then try to negotiate, which we shouldn't even be negotiating, my personal opinion. Right? If you want to pay it at its lowest price, you should have paid it when it was due. That's it. When it go up, we shouldn't be negotiating nothing. Listen, it's been X amount of time and you ain't paid it this long. Why would I negotiate? Clearly, the care is not hurting, or the whatever the craft is not hurting too much. What they need it right now. So there's no point in negotiating. How about this? How about you pay what you owe? And if you're not gonna pay right now, that's your problem. I still find my non-compliances and things like that, and then move on with what I'm doing over here. But I'm not negotiating no type of lower settlement on nothing. You're gonna pay what you owe, or don't violate the contract if you don't want to pay. That's just simple, right? But as long as you violate, you're gonna pay what's owed. That's how I would carry it, me personally. Now, fast forward. I'm waiting to get this person because I'm not trying to file no type of grievance. I'm trying to go for harassment. I'm trying to go for creating a hostile work environment, and I'm going for disabled discrimination. And my resolution, I want this person's job because I done stacked up paperwork. I got messages through the scanner for days, for weeks. I got all types of inappropriate, whatever the case is. There ain't no retraining for this, right? There ain't no retraining for this. This is what I was going for. This is what I was gonna go for. And if, right, whoever, EO specialist, union, whoever, tried to negotiate or let this person keep their job, I was then going to go for them because federal policy says whoever creates the hostile work environment or allows a hostile work environment is guilty of a hostile work environment. So if this person is creating a hostile work environment, consistent, it's already zero tolerance. We shouldn't even be negotiating their job. Guess what? I'm not settling on not taking their job. I want the job. So now if you allow this person to stay and they continue doing the same thing, then you now allowing the hostile work environment, EEO specialist or whoever that's over the case. Now I want you, and I still want this person. That's how I'm just gonna carry it. And I'm wait, listen. I'm no fool by any means. I'm no fool by any means. I'm a person that I like knowledge, right? I've been that way since before I joined the military, but I like knowledge, right? And I'm gonna take it wherever I can get it. Even if it ain't something that I use, I like to know new stuff. So when I went on the desk, it's because I couldn't get into the union, right? They said I was too new, I didn't have enough time in. Yet there's a lot of people I'm already helping or keeps coming to me for questions. I used to have to contact the union all the time to get information. Cool. So this is how I started learning the contract. I'm like, I can't make no moves though, officially, because I'm still a carrier. So I'm like, okay, well, if I can't help from the union side with being a union steward and fighting the bogus supervisors or managers, then how about I just become one of the supervisors and then make a difference from that side? So now instead of me having to fight the supervisor, I'll just be the supervisor who's different. And that way I don't have nobody to fight. You get what I'm saying? Cool. So they already wanted to train me afterwards. So that's why I took the training, supervisor training. When I did that, I had a lot of knowledge on how the other side works. So me in this form now, I'm back to carrying. I've been a carrier since September, right? I was 204B prior, so I'm still doing both at the time. I've been just carrying since September. I haven't touched the desk since September of 25, right? I now know the knowledge on how to fight particular cases from any side because I know what the other side is going to do, right? So as a carrier, it's going to be hard. As long as I'm doing what I'm supposed to do, it's hard for management to do anything to me because I know how you're going to approach the situation. And then I have another plan once you come at me like that. You get what I'm saying? Because I know what you're going to do. And I'm not filing grievances. I don't file grievances, right? If somebody is really violating, I need you out. I want you out. So I've helped a lot of people with their EEOs and a lot of other things and gotten acting managers moved, got supervisors moved, got PTFs or CCAs, their jobs back with EEOs, all types of things. I've done all that as a carrier. All that as a carrier. If something don't seem fair, it don't seem fair. That's just on me, right? So I wanted this person, and I wanted this person the most, not because of who they were. I wanted them to make an example to other supervisors and the managers. I'm gonna be honest with you. I ain't gonna even hold you. I ain't gonna even hold you. That was my plan. And I had this person in the corner when it comes to me, and they would not, they would not pull the trigger on pulling me into the office. They would not. And that was the last piece I needed. It's like the cherry. Like you got the how they say the cherry on top. I had the cupcake and the cream and everything. I was good. I just wanted to be pulled into the office the one time to get these dumb answers I know I was gonna get, just to put the cherry on top. That was it. I was going with a bow on top. This is gonna be Johnny Cochran good right here, but dodged that. They dodged that. Cool. So I say this to a lot of people when they've been going through their route adjustments. If your station delivers your mail after your route adjustments, you will not get those routes back. Let me say that. You will not get those routes back. Now, maybe your union can do something. I don't know. Right? But you won't get those routes back. What they're going to do to cover their butts or try to, in a real good attempt, to, is once they cut your routes, see that y'all going over like crazy, you're going to see an influx in PTFs in your station. And that's how they're going to get the mail that you either giving up, can't do, running over, whatever the case. They're going to try to get that mail from you by giving you a big influx of PTFs. That's what's going to happen. Right. When they take those routes, it typically just shows up random. That's what happened at our station. Came in one day, the routes was cut. We knew that because the 5 routes didn't get any mail. Right, the carriers were still there, but they didn't get any mail, and that's how we knew it's official. Your route's gone. Right, they became unassigned regulars that day or within the next couple of days or something like that. And then you just get leftover mail or whatever the case is, and you could be asked to go to another station because you're an unassigned regular at that point in time. Right, there's no thank you card from your supervisor or manager for the time that you put in and days that you put in, anything like that. They just tell you, hey, you gotta bid for a route, right? Because most likely your station is full, but especially if they do this adjustment, most likely your station full. They're gonna do an in-house bid though, and you gotta bid for a route. Most likely gonna be out of station, and if you don't, then probably within the next month or 2 or whatever amount of time, if they might give you more time. I've seen UAs unsigned. I mean, URs unsigned regulars stay there longer, even though they weren't supposed to. You're supposed to either bid for a route or you get forced onto a route like a conversion, right? Don't wait for that. They cut those routes, leave. They cut those routes, leave. Leave. Get up out of there, find you something. Don't waste time for the next month or 2 or 3 or 4, because when they walk you versus when they decide to cut their routes, and then when they actually cut the routes, it's probably gonna be months in between that, right? Don't waste time. Once you know that your route is gone, you need to be bidding for something. You need to be finding you some place to go. There's no point in waiting for the last minute and then you getting treated like a PTF or a CCA. Now you irritated and mad that you treated like a PTF or a CCA. Now you want to start trying to bid on something, but now you can't get something because other people are moving or whatever. And now you stuck in a situation that you in that you allowed yourself to be in the first place. Well, I say in the second place. In the second place, because it wasn't your decision to cut the route. That was the first place. Second place is once you knew it was gone, you still stayed. Now, once they determine how many routes that they're going to take out of your station, it's the lowest seniority and vacant routes that they're going to take in that group. So let's say they said they were going to take out 10. Right? Let's say your station has 40 routes and they're going to take out 10. Let's just say, for instance, on the first end that you have no vacant routes. So in your seniority list, the last 10 with the least amount of seniority is out of there. Along with them 10 being out of there, 1 per 4 to 5 routes of your utilities are also out of there. So you're going to lose 12 people. 12 people. 2 utilities and 10 carriers. Okay? Flip that. Same scenario. 50 routes, losing 10, but 3 of them are vacant. They're going to take those 3 vacant routes, and then the 7 lowest seniority are going to lose their routes. That's 10. Okay? And then you're still going to lose the utilities. That's how this is going to go. That's how this is going to go. Okay? So don't be that guy. I intend for this to be way shorter, but I just started talking. It's been a long time, you know what I'm saying? So I'm playing catch up and things like that. It's cool. If you got any questions, man, you can always @ or hashtag Postal Blue. Any questions or concerns, hashtag or @ Postal Blue. Okay? I am your boy L. Anderson. You call me Anderson, you call me LA Styles, whatever the case is. You call me Lynn for short, or LA for short. Right? My name's Leonard. If you got any questions, concerns, or business related things, if you want to come on for an interview, you want to come on and be part of a show at some point in time, you can email us at up here. There we go. amazingstudios@gmail.com. There is a second email under Amazing Studios. But I can't remember the spelling right now because I wasn't prepared for all that. Okay. Any business related content, ads, ad reads, interviews. If you want to join the crew from here to there and speak your piece on some things or whatever the case, or ask me any questions on live, hit me up at amazingstudios@gmail.com. Okay. You can also inbox me on Twitter, right, at LA Styles, the LA Styles, or again, leave comments on YouTube on the Postal Blue episodes, right? Leave comments down below. Make sure you comment down below. Let me know how your route adjustment is going. Now, that's not to say that every route adjustment is bad. Maybe you at a station that just so happen to be under a lot. I mean, you're required to have 8 hours of work. You know what I'm saying? But I can tell you now, the way they're doing it is not the case. They're going into the stations already thinking how many routes they want to cut out. Now, for those of you who don't know, if you at a pivoting station, they've been watching your data for about a year and some change, maybe for at least a year or around a good year, right? They've watched your data. They know that y'all pivot 5 routes easily, 6, 7 routes easy in that station. They will come take those routes, right? When they walk you, they're also going to take another like 3 to 6 months of previous data that shows how fast you've been doing that route. It's also going to show them if you cut across grass or not, right? It's going to show all that, right? So they coming to take those. And they already have it in their head that they feel like it should only take the average station about 30 to 45 minutes of casing. So in their heads, if it don't take you 30 to 45 minutes of casing and they used to give you up to 2 hours, then what's going on with the other hour and 15 to hour and 30? They're going to put street mail in that time. Okay? Street. Again, if you just not joining, it was raining outside. I got, you know what I'm saying? I don't got my cloth with me right now, so I'm gonna have to set this right now. So you know what I'm saying? Don't come and be crazy, please. They're gonna put street mail there, right? You're often to get longer on the street because they feel like it's shorter in the office. That's what it is. Okay, that's what it is. That's what they're gonna do. And no matter what the outcome is when they walk you, they're still gonna take that time, right? So your station is getting cut. Everyone who thinks my station not gonna get cut because we don't do this, it's not. They're cutting everybody's. Have that in your head now and get comfortable with it. We're beyond them doing it the right way or the appropriate way. They're doing what they want to do. Okay, so they're going to cut your routes. And your routes either going to get longer on the street or whatever the case. It's going to get longer. It is what it is, right? It's going to get longer. Your route will not be the same when the route adjustment comes. Even for those of you who be like, when they walk me, my route was 8. So why did my route change? Right? Because they had to move mail over. And they still adding time to your route regardless. So your route still will be changed. It will not be the same doing an adjustment of this size. It will not be the same. Okay? You might have the same number, but the area might be different. You might have the same number and part of your old route and part of something else. You might have part of your new route or part of your old route, part of another route, and part of another route. I know people who got like 4 hours still from their route and then another 2 hours from another route and another hour or hour and a half from another route. Right? Y'all probably looking like that's like 7.5. Correct. Because they only count like 30 minutes of office time or whatever the case is. Crazy part of that is when you go do your load truck, it still breaks your packages down into six tubs somehow. when you know that you added 7 hours on the street, 7.5 on the street, how does my packages still only break down into 6 hours in these 6 tubs? My route should break down into 8 tubs because it's 7 hours and 45 minutes on the street. But it don't. It only breaks down into 6 tubs. And I noticed what they did was they moved the streets from tub 5 and 6 into 3 and 4. Not even evenly. They didn't even move some of the stuff from 3 and 4 into 1 and 2. They moved everything from tub 5 and 6 into tub 3 and 4. And then the other hour 45 is in tub 5 and 6. I noticed that. There's a lot of stuff I noticed. Post office. Be smooth now. Again, y'all got any questions? It's already been an hour. It's 8 something. I'm not gonna do too much editing to this at all. At all. I'm finna get this up. Get this posted on the YouTube. And don't I got intros and outros? I don't even think I got those on this computer no more. God dang. I don't think I got my editing on here no more. Anywho, and then get this up on Postal Blue Podcast for you guys. Postal Blue Podcast is on all streaming platforms. Right? It goes from Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Diesel, Stitcher. Well, I don't think Diesel is around no more. Is it Stitcher's around? I don't know. I can't remember which one. Fountain. Wherever you can listen to podcasts at, we will be there, or we are there already. Okay. With that said, I'm gonna get up out of here. I appreciate you guys. Be safe out there. Enjoy the good weather. Dogs finna be out. It is spring. Is it officially spring? It's spring season, right? Be safe, be careful. Dogs is out. People acting crazy. Drive carefully. Wear your seatbelts. I think they do have sensors in the seatbelts that let them know if you're wearing your seatbelt or not. Do wear your seatbelts. And again, you shouldn't wear your seatbelt because they can recognize that you are not wearing your seatbelt. You should be wearing your seatbelt because it's the law, for one. And two, it is safety. Okay? People are driving crazy out there. People are getting killed in these car accidents out here, getting thrown from their vehicles. Please buckle up for your safety, for your loved ones. They'll miss you. Your kids will miss you. All type of things like that, man. Make sure you go home the way that you came to work today. We got enough to deal with. With that, I appreciate you guys sharing this, caring. So make sure you hit that share button. Post us on your social medias. Post us, repost us in your USPS Facebook groups and things like that. On your communities, on Reddit, things like that. Sharing is caring. Let everybody get this information who might not be able to get this information. And make sure you comment down below with your questions, concerns, or tips, tricks, whatever the case is. Okay. With that, I'm out. Peace.